LSU has jumped ahead of Vanderbilt 33-30 early in the second half. Plenty of time to go, but Tigers really holding their own in Nashville right now. As we begin hour number 2, and as we do just about every Wednesday on Tigers Roar, it's time to visit with Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Good evening, Brian. How you doing?
Good, Tommy. How you doing tonight?
Hanging in there on a Wednesday as always, Brian. Brian, the recruiting class of 2012, Hayes in the barn on that one. We know where it's at. But LSU and the staff quickly working on the 2013 class, a handful of commitments already. Brian, as you and the guys at TigerBait.com know, it's a never-ending process.
Oh, you're right about that. And they had a junior day recently, and as a result, they've come up with 5 commitments so far this year for the 2013 class.
Brian, talk about the addition of Adam Henry to the coaching staff at LSU and what you feel that Adam can bring to this team.
Well, he's certainly someone that has, some experience around Louisiana and Texas. He played at McNeese. He coached at McNeese for 10 years. He is from Beaumont, Texas. And then he's got some NFL experience, having been with the Oakland Raiders. So certainly has a lot of things. I know Les Miles said that what he wanted was someone who had some NFL experience, and that's what he got with Adam Henry.
Brian, good news for LSU today is the NCAA granted a 6th year of clock time for Josh Dworsik to get in 4 years of eligibility. Guy has started 26 games, played in 38. That's a huge boost for the offensive line going into next year.
You're right about that, Tommy, and it's going to be a big veteran group next year. They're going to start 3 seniors, Lonergan at center, DeRossi at 1 guard, and Alex Hurst at 1 tackle, and then 2 juniors in Chris Falk at a tackle and Josh Williford at a guard. So a lot of experience there, and you certainly expect LSU's offensive line to be pretty solid next year. It's a matter of developing some depth, in case injuries hit.
Right, and we all know that depth can be so important, and having it on that offensive line, because you know that LSU's going to want to run the football with the stable of running backs. And again, getting Dworsik that additional year to complete his eligibility. I said it on national radio today. People are going to realize how important that is going to be for LSU.
You're right about that. Like I said, here's a guy who has started 26 straight games over 2 years. And on top of that, he's going to be the leader of this team. They have a small senior class next year, and you say, well, who's going to be the leader? Well, there's no doubt with Josh DeRossi back on the team, and he'll be the leader. Now, we can just hope he stays healthy. He's had knee problems, both knees, and you just hope that he's completely healthy now.
We're visiting with Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Brian, LSU playing Vanderbilt as we speak now. You and I were both at the game when they beat Arkansas last week. That last 15 minutes of the first half, that was as good as this team has looked all year.
You're right about that, and they've played fairly well at home, with the exception, obviously, of the Kentucky game in conference play. It's just a matter of whether or not they can come back and do something on the road, and they're hanging tough with Vanderbilt tonight.
Ryan, tell everybody what they're going to get when they go to TigerBait.com.
www.tigerbait.com, 7-day free trial all the time, all the recruiting coverage. And right now, we're off looking at the class of 2013, and obviously you'll be coverage of the basketball team down the stretch and the baseball team, which opens up a week from Friday.
Brian Lazar, appreciate your time as always, and we look forward to visiting with you again.
Good to talk to you, Tommy. See you.
All right, that's Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Just about every Wednesday, although that's going to get a little skinny in the fall because he, like I, likes to go to the baseball games, and LSU will have a lot of baseball games on Wednesday nights, so we won't have Brian as much in the spring, but we'll come up with something else for you. We got other stuff planned going forward. Again, do want to remind people we got some emails on this within the last couple of weeks. Is Tigers Roar going to continue going even though football has stopped with playing games, etc.? And yes, it is. This program, if you go back to the inception of the program, is 5 years old. Tigers Roar right at 2 years old in its kind of existing format, but It's got a footprint in the sand, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com, and we're not going anywhere. We're going to have something for you each and every Wednesday night on the live broadcast. And, of course, as we always tell you, if you're catching this Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you got a replay going. But spread the roar about Tigers Roar.
And it's important, right quick, we couldn't really get into it because of time constraints. This 2013 class is important for LSU. They finished up 13th. I think a lot of those players are going to play above their star level that was given to them because Louisiana players always do that. I think LSU got a great start from junior day, have 5 commits. Josh Boot, offensive lineman, committed today. I think that's huge for LSU going forward. Couldn't really get into that with Brian, but I think this recruiting class, 2013, is going to be important to complement this 2012 recruiting class.
And I heard Buddy signed you on the radio today. This kid's from Westgate. It's Josh Booty, but it's spelled B-O-U-T-T-E, which is like Mark Boutte, who used to play for LSU on the defensive line, but there's no relation. And it's not Josh Booty or Abraham.
With the Y.
Abram Booty, B-O-O-T-Y. So I heard Buddy signed you talking about that on KKAY 1590 AM today. So just clarifying all that for you before people start thinking, is this part of the Josh and Abram Booty family? Or Mark Boutte, who was a pretty good defensive lineman at LSU and actually played in the NFL for a little while as well. All right, when we come back, we're going to shift gears a little bit. Yesterday, this week on campus out at Tiger Park, home of the Lady Tiger softball team, it was media day with new first-year coach Beth Torina. When we come back, we're going to give you Beth Torina and some of the Lady Tiger softball players after this pause on Tigers Roar, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com.
Hello, I'm Doug Thompson, and you're watching Pelican Sports TV.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
Hey, you expecting a refund and want a new car? Come to North American Automotive Group on Airline. We make it easy. Bring your W-2, file your taxes, use it towards your down payment, and drive home today. North American Auto on Airline.
The family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Furget Jr. and our highly trained staff are dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages in all aspects of dental care. 23 years of experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Furget to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com has been extremely beneficial for the TM Automotive Group. And what stands out to us, it's easy to use, not only for us, but it's easy for the applicants. And it's the quality of applicants that we get. It's timely. We post something in the morning. By that afternoon, we have double-digit applicants. And again, it's the quality of the applicants.
Employers, now is a great time to hire, recruit, and look for potential new employees.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com. It's free for job seekers and great for business.
Total Occupational Medicine has been treating injured workers and providing drug tests and employment physicals in our community with a staff of certified professionals for over 20 years. Conveniently located at 3333 Drusilla Lane at I-12, Total Occupational Medicine can assess your needs and present a plan to get your injured workers back to work as soon as medically appropriate. Call Jim Bollinger or Dennis Taylor at 924-4460 to put the experienced team at Total Occupational Medicine to work for you today. That's 924-4460.
Softball, Carter Bryant. I know you had a little softball challenge feature last year that we did here on Tigers Roar, so you're very familiar with the Lady Tiger softball program.
We weren't able to get around to the challenge, but Brittany Mack knows that I'm coming for her, so she's watching the program tonight.
We're going to do the challenge this year?
Yeah, well, we got to. We got to set it up. Hopefully Coach Farina allows it to happen.
Well, we can work on that.
I know I can hit a rise ball any day. We just hanging in the zone.
You can, huh?
Yeah.
I've seen you try to hit a tennis ball and throw a weight on track. I've seen you attempt some other things, Carter.
And I won all those challenges handily, of course. All the people here that know that. So I'm going to win the softball challenge. Actually, I'm going to dominate it. Actually, I'm going to hit it out of the park, I guess you would say. No pun intended. So I'm going to dominate like I always do.
Okay.
Here at Pelican
All right.
Park.
We're going to go to that. I saw your soccer challenge, too, with Mo Iceland. But anyway, all right. Softball program has huge shoes to fill. The legend Yvette Girard retired after last season. We know what she did for softball in Lafayette and in Baton Rouge, and her record speaks for itself. But there's a new coach, Beth Torina. The Pelican Sports TV crew was on hand this week out at Tiger Park as we got some softball with Coach Beth Torina, again, the new head coach of the Lady Tiger program, and some of the players. Here's that activity from this week out at Tiger Park.
Thank you so much for coming today. As an outsider coming to this university, it's so easy to see what a privilege it is to be part of LSU. And I think the best thing about this 2012 season is that we have 12 young women that understand that privilege, and they really are out here every single day playing for the LSU on the front of their jersey and not the name on the back. And I think that's rare to find a group of young women that are capable of that. But I truly believe we have that this year here at LSU. Before I even start talking about the 2012 season, I would be remiss to not talk about Coach Girard and everything that she has done for this program and what she has built. It's through her efforts that we're standing in one of the nation's top facilities, one of the best places to play college softball. It's no question this is done by all of her efforts and the efforts of the staff previous to our current staff. So I want to thank her and thank her for giving us these 22 young women. This team was selected 100% by her, and you know, I love them like they were my own, so we thank her every day for everything she's done for this program. I also want to thank her for giving us this schedule that we have to face in 2012. She obviously thought very highly of this team because she's truly challenged us this year with this schedule that we have. We face off against 5 of the 8 College World Series teams from last year. We get started right away with Penn State and Michigan opening weekend. We understand that we don't have to play our absolute best softball weekend 1, but we have to play very, very good softball weekend 1. We then see Oklahoma, Oklahoma State. We find Cal in Las Vegas, and then head straight to SEC play, where, of course, we're playing in the top conference in the nation. And, of course, we see tons of tough competition there. Some of the best coaches I feel in the country are in this conference. I'm so excited to be a part of that group. But we have a big challenge ahead of us here in 2012. We've talked a lot about preparing for this first weekend, and I think these, especially 8 seniors that we have on this team, have really, really high goals and expectations for the season. And, you know, this schedule will truly allow them to accomplish all of those goals. If they can play this season and do the things that they are capable of doing, they will be able to achieve everything that they're looking to achieve in this year without question. It's a great schedule for allowing them to do that. But there is no off weekend. There is no off game. We have to show up ready to play every time we take the field, and, you know, they're committed to do that. One thing we've talked a lot about this year also, and you can kind of see as you're around our facility, is the it factor. This has been our theme all year, and it actually started before the fall and before our football team had the great season that they had. This it factor, we talked about creating it with this team, and it's kind of that intangible factor that you can't necessarily put words on. That it factor, Coach Miles talked a lot about it in his post-game interviews and talks all year, that this team just had it. You can't necessarily put words on it, but you'll see a lot of the most motivational things we've done around here. A lot of our marketing for this season will involve that it factor, and our tagline is the whatever it takes. And we've talked a lot with our players about what does it take to create that. What is it about those teams, those special teams that have that it factor? It's determination, it's chemistry, it's work ethic. All of those things go into creating that it factor. I'm not going to spend a long time talking about individual players. If you guys have questions about that, I'm happy to take them at the end. But I feel like this is a very solid unit of 22 players, and all will contribute this season. Obviously, we're led by our pitching staff with All-American Brittany Mack, Rachel Fico, Megan Patterson. They are very talented. They are very special. They will keep us in every ball game on the schedule this season. But we really have a solid group of players, and I think any day it could be anyone's time to shine. I think any one of these girls could be the hero on any day. I'll tell you, the 8 seniors really stand out. They're a very highly motivated group. They want to leave a mark on this university. They want to leave a legacy. They are set to do some big things this year. The rest of us are really just trying to help them accomplish those goals and do a lot of this for them.
It was a new start for us, so we had to make sure that coaches and players, we came in with an open mind. It was hard with Gerard leaving, but we knew it was time for a new start. Gerard had left a great legacy, and so we were ready for what was ahead of us. And it was just great having Coach come in right away. She set the tone for us, and we even had great chemistry with the coaches, and it was just great to start off practice. We felt like we've been doing it for years.
How can I put this in words? I love everything about it. I can have a bad day, come here, and my whole day's turned around. Like, the atmosphere is completely different. The attitude is great. Everybody, you can tell everybody wants to win. Everybody wants it. I mean, we're not out here, we're at practice because we have to be here. We're here because we want to be here. We want to win. We want to win it for ourselves, our seniors, our school, our families. We want to do it for all sorts of reasons, and we're just here working hard every day.
As a competitor, I think we all want to play the best, and it's awesome that we get the privilege to play, such great teams all year round, and we're looking forward to prove to everyone how much we have grown from last year and things like that. And I think the only way we can show everyone is by playing the best, so we're excited.
Before she even got here, I was talking to Natasha Watley, and Natasha had messaged me, and she said, "You have a great coach coming in. You don't need to worry about it." And Coach Gerard, it's Coach Gerard. If she tells us that she's going to bring someone good, she's going to bring someone good. I have no doubt that Coach Serena is going to take us to the level we need to be. Coach Serena has really emphasized the fact that it is in all of us, and if we bring it, we're going to win it.
I can't ask for a lot more than this team, and I can't ask for a lot more than what they've given us as a staff. They have done every single thing we've asked them to. They've bought into every change, everything we've asked them to do. I really could not ask for a lot more. I feel I'm a very well-rounded, balanced coach. I like to have some speed, some power. I like to pitch and play defense. My practices are very balanced. We work on defense the same amount of times we work on offense, and every day we don't go a day without doing one or the other. So this team's capable of all of the things I'm asking them to do. We can run, we can hit, we can play defense, we can definitely pitch. So, they have all of the tools and all of the things I need them to have.
Everybody might focus on Ashley Langoni, but if you guys saw our fan day, we had a home run derby. And Ricky Alcatraz hit a few over. She's a power lefty hitter. We had Tammy Ray, who hits bombs at practice. Morgan Russell, I can't remember the last time she hit a pop-up. She's been hitting line drives while we're hitting live off Coach. And Coach doesn't just, sling them in there. She really throws. She throws, spins and everything. And even during scrimmages, we're hitting the ball well. In our slappers, we're really connecting to the ball. Coach is really helping us out with every aspect of our slapping. Our control of the bats are way better this year. We're just, offensively, we're really great right now.
The confidence is what's changed the most. Almost the entire team is so confident. They know they're good hitters. They know they're some of the best in the country, and it's amazing to see the results in practice. We're working on having a game plan when we go up to bat and not just swinging at anything close. So we're really breaking it down into the nitty-gritty stuff, and we're becoming very smart hitters.
I'm excited about my entire staff. I think Howard Dobson's one of the best offensive minds out there. Lindsay brings so much to the table, too, with her enthusiasm and knowledge of the game. I'm excited to see how we match up without question. I try and remind myself every day it's the same game. Bases are the same distance apart. They've been there, since I was 5 years old and playing Little League or whatever it was. But I'm excited to see how we match up for sure. I'm excited to compete every weekend against someone great and really have to work on the game strategy of it and do a little more on that side than I think we've ever done before. So I'm really excited about that side of it.
Coach Dobson's awesome at what he does. He doesn't so much try to change our swings. He just adjusts to the things we need to work on. He has so many different drills that he does with us and we can do on our own that are not only making us better, but they're fun. And all three of them have taught us how to just have confidence in ourselves, which is a huge part of success. And I think that just from seeing each other swing in practice and scrimmages against our pitchers who are awesome, it's gonna be a way better season this year, and we're looking forward to it.
I sat down yesterday and tried to make a starting lineup, and I don't know that I can do it yet. I have 4 more days to figure it out. There's a ton of competition on this team. A few people deserve opportunities here early. I think it'll work itself out by the time we get to SEC play, but I'm really trying to go on what I have in front of me and not based on past experience. I want to make decisions that are fair to everyone. So you're going to see a ton of competition. You might see some in and out the first couple of weeks with different people trying them different spots, different lineups and things until we have that set lineup when we get to SEC play. But like I said, there are a ton of kids battling. There's a ton of talented players on this team. There's kids that are very close to one another. I need games to see who actually is going to step up and be that game player versus practice.
We definitely need to make sure we take it one step at a time, not get too far ahead of ourselves, play every inning, every pitch, just focus right then and there. But we know deep down we're striving for the best, so everyone's coming in doing extra every day, working on what we need to do to make sure that we are the best team and that we can win it all.
So Brittany Mack, Rachel Fico, Megan Patterson, that's who we'll depend on. If one of them got hurt, we would just lean on the other 2. Hopefully that won't happen, and we'll be able to use them accordingly and keep everybody healthy and happy. But honestly, they're so talented. Any one of them could be a number 1 at many universities throughout the country. We are really lucky to have a staff of that caliber all in one place. So.
Definitely sad to know it's my last year, but it's also a strong motivation. This is my last chance. I need to go as hard as I can and do whatever it takes to win, and so that's where I also take it upon myself to be a strong team leader and go work well with the coaches, that I do my part and the team does their part, and that we really reach our goals.
I don't know if there's extra pressure. I think there's always pressure to win at a place like LSU. We're standing in this beautiful facility. If this place doesn't win, then we're underachieving, in my opinion. So, I think following a Hall of Famer is a blessing for me, honestly, because of the what she left me with. She left us in such a great spot. So I enjoy following her, and I'm glad that I was chosen to follow her, because I think we'll do a good job of respecting what she's built here and really trying to continue some of the traditions that she has brought, and I think that's important.
That's a look for you at softball. Again, they begin their season this Friday night, the 10th. You see, they begin their season, you begin Pelican Sports Radio same day. Got some synergy there, I guess. When we come back, we're going to talk some LSU basketball. We'll begin our weekly run through the LSU athletic department. Vanderbilt separating a little bit from LSU about halfway through the second half. We'll keep you posted on that. Carter Bryant, Tommy Chrysant. Spread the roar. Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at pelicansportstv.com.
Hello, I'm Rohan Davey, and you're watching Pelican Sports TV.
Hey, you expecting a refund and want a new car? Come to North American Automotive Group on Airline. We make it easy. Bring your W-2, file your taxes, use it towards your down payment, and drive home today. North American Auto on Airline.
I'm attorney Kerry Bryson. An IRS problem is a serious legal matter. The IRS has thousands of agents trained to understand it all. So don't trust an out-of-town salesperson. Come meet with us in person at our office right here in Baton Rouge. Your first visit will be free and confidential. If you're a Louisiana resident and have an IRS problem, hire a Louisiana attorney. Hire me, Kerry Bryson.
Key attributes that really puts Papa John's Pizza over the top is our meats. Nobody does what Papa John's does.
For just $11, get our new double-layered premium pepperoni pizza, loaded with a layer of our signature pepperoni, plus a layer of oversized deli-style pepperoni. Just $11 for a large. Plus, get double points all weekend long and earn free pizza fast with Papa Rewards, only at papajohns.com. Sign up now.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a formal affair.
Come see the many great lines we carry in bridal, bridesmaids, mothers, flower girls, tuxes, and more. We also carry over 25 top designer lines in debutante gowns, Mardi Gras, pageant, and prom. Come meet me and my staff with over 30 years of bridal and pageant experience. Debbie's Bridal, a formal affair, Burnside and Gonzales, where service matters.
We continue in Tigers Road. Time to talk a little basketball. It's hoop time. And again, LSU playing Vanderbilt as we speak. Vanderbilt separating themselves a little bit. They were about an 11-point favorite in the game, and they lead by about that, maybe a little more. Right now, actually, LSU's just cut it to 9. So we'll keep you posted on that. I was at the PMAC when LSU beat Arkansas, one of their best performances of the year. Obviously playing tonight at Vanderbilt. They are home on Saturday against Alabama. In the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. 13-9 overall, 3-5 in conference play. They only had 3 wins last year in conference play, so they've already matched that total. Tonight's game starts the second half of the 16-game SEC schedule for Trent Johnson's Tigers. And again, tall order against Vanderbilt tonight. Carter, the rest of the games, they're winnable for LSU.
Yeah, and just got to get through this. They're probably going to lose this game to Vanderbilt. As you said earlier in the show, that this is just too much. There's just too much talent on Vanderbilt with Jenkins at the shooting guard. If he comes back for a senior year, he's going to be the all-time leading scorer at Vanderbilt. Zeeley's not even playing that much tonight, if he's playing at all. Injured before the game. It's just too much for them. They do have a winnable rest of the schedule. They don't have to play Arkansas at Budwell. They've already played them, already lost there. So these are all winnable games for LSU going forward.
A couple of the statistical leaders for LSU, Justin Hamilton, the transfer from Iowa State, has been a pleasant surprise. He's had some really nice games, especially during the holiday break. He's out going into tonight's game, averaging 13.5 points, about 7.5 rebounds, and okay at the free throw line. And anytime you're 7 foot, usually big men who are outstanding going to go right to the NBA after 1 year of college. Justin Hamilton probably has a shot in the NBA down the road, but he is probably the most improved player on this LSU team if you go first 5 games until now.
Yeah, and he's a Tigers' go-to player in the post. As you see here, great hook shot with the left hand, can use both hands, able to move the ball well when he's in a high post, can pass out of double teams well. I'd like to see him demand more double teams, be more of a presence, have that kind of performance he had in Gainesville a couple weeks ago. He sort of disappeared against Arkansas, made the crucial rebounds when they mattered most. Key addition to LSU this year.
And Andre Stringer's got to get a little better with the outside shot. He had a bad day against Arkansas. At one point was 0 for 6 from the three-point line, but 10 points, free throw percentage, very good. Andre Stringer is the kind of guy who plays in spurts. He can get hot. He can give you 3 or 4 great minutes, then he kind of disappears for a little bit. You see him here hitting the 3. Andre Stringer, he can hit that 3. That helps LSU on the attack of any defense.
Last year, Stringer was a point guard. Now he's an undersized 2 guard. It's been an uphill battle for him all year. That's why you see his 3-point percentage down. It's not that his form is off. It's not that he's shooting them any worse. It's just that he's shooting them against taller players whenever he's playing against man-to-man defense. He does need to shoot a little better if LSU's going to roll in these last 8 games.
A player that I know you're very high on, Carter, Anthony Hickey from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. He's got 9 points a game. He's the floor leader. Probably wanted to be a little better than that on free throws. Anthony Hickey, he's a guy that's just going to get better. A lot of talent in this player.
He's the best player in LSU by far. And you saw in Arkansas, Tommy, when you were there, you could sort of feel him put his handprints on the game. He controlled the pace of the game. In the fast break situations, Mike Anderson talked to him after the game, the Arkansas head coach. He said Anthony Hickey, with that runner towards the end of the game, really sealed the deal. And his ability to make decisions in fast break situations. See right there, it's an easy decision. Go lay it in. But when he's in the open court, he does a great job at avoiding charges, making that extra pass, making you commit to him. If you commit to him, he's going to dish it. If you don't, he's going to make a lay-in in a fast break situation. That's what I like out of Hickey, and most importantly, as a true freshman, he makes everybody better. And that's what you need on this basketball team. College basketball is dictated by point guard play. Syracuse was able to beat Georgetown tonight. 2 top 10 teams tonight were able to play because Trish and Waiters, the guards for Syracuse, played better than Georgetown guards down the stretch. They didn't turn the basketball over. In the future, Anthony Hickey's going to be that go-to player.
A story that was uncomfortable to read in the Advocate newspaper this week. Ricardo Gathers is a player at Riverside Academy down in Reserve, Louisiana, about halfway between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, maybe a little closer to New Orleans. He had committed to St. John's up in New York back in November. He decommitted, reopened the recruiting process, if you will. It was thought then that LSU could get in there and have a chance at him. Earlier this week, he commits to Baylor, who's one of the programs on the rise on the national scene, obviously, and had some comments. Said Trent Johnson had only seen him play once. Trent Johnson says nobody's seen him play more than I. So I don't know if Trent Johnson's been in the wrong gym or Ricardo doesn't know what Trent Johnson looks like. Said that the assistant coach, Coach Scott, has recruited Ricardo Gathers very hard. He has a great relationship going. He has worked it. But Ricardo making the comments, hey, if I'm going to play for Trent Johnson, I need to get to know him, and the guy just hasn't worked it. And that's it's one thing to lose a player, and then it's one thing to have the players kind of come out and, and bash the head coach of LSU.
Yeah, and he's a five-star player. I mean, he's probably the best prospect since Greg Monroe. And, of course, Greg Monroe went to Georgetown. LSU, once again, not able to keep its best player in state. It didn't surprise me that Ricardo Gathers decommitted from St. John's. That was a rather early commitment all the way in the Northeast. And actually, I saw him at the LSU practice facility after my session at Basketball Media Days. He was there playing around there. He decommitted, opened his options open. So you see right now where he is. He decides to go play basketball at Baylor. This is a huge red flag for LSU. For Gathers to say something about Coach Johnson, who's known for recruiting big men, taking big men to the next level. I don't know how Gathers couldn't really see that with him. Tough decision for Gathers to follow Tweety Carter's footsteps, the other great Louisiana player that played at Baylor, to go play for the Bears and Coach Drew.
Well, and we'll just have to see how that plays out. The basketball signing period doesn't begin until April 11th. Could it change between now and then? Yes, possibly. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. As we continue our run through the LSU Athletic Department, women's basketball, big win against Kentucky. Kentucky was leading the SEC, ranked nationally, and Nikki Caldwell's Lady Tigers, 15-8 overall, 5-5 in conference play, snapped a losing skid and beat the Kentucky Lady Wildcats.
That was a crucial win. I think you can't say it enough. I know crucial win is a term that's overused, but Nikki Caldwell needed one of those signature victories that snapped a 10-game winning streak for Kentucky, a team that was rising up in the ranks, a team that has the down-low type of power that can beat Baylor and Brittany Grimer that is just so dominant right now. I was shocked that they had this result, and they were able to control that game as Kentucky, beat them handily on Super Bowl Sunday, and that shows how great of a player Lysandra Barrett was. She was dominant in that game, Adrian Webb, and most importantly, defensively, they picked up the intensity. Kentucky only shot 35% from the field. That was partly due to the great play from the LSU guards defensively.
A couple other notes for you in the LSU athletic department. The SEC bestowed some honors to the track and field program. A couple of track and field performers picking up SEC Athlete of the Week awards. That's always good to be recognized that way. And we did have a couple of the members, Forbes and Duncan.
Yeah, Kimberlyn Duncan. You can't say enough good things about her.
Third week in a row for both of them.
Yeah, and she's a Pelican Sports graduate, I guess you could say.
She's been on this show.
And Chris and I mean, she was a great interview as well. Unfortunately enough, it was an off day for her, so I wasn't able to challenge her at her amazing ability of running. That's a challenge I know I have no chance at. Unbelievable speed, unbelievable athleticism. She's a leader of this track and field team, the Texas native. Goodness, can she run.
And Coach Brian Lee, the LSU soccer team, has released their spring schedule. There'll be 5 games announced: Nicholls State, Southeastern, Texas Tech, South Alabama, and Alabama down in Orange Beach. They'll probably make a trip to the beach on that trip. So a little spring soccer schedule for you. Check the LSU sports.net website for complete information on the soccer team. And a golf note for you. Former LSU golfer John Peterson, who was an NCAA champion, will play in his first PGA Tour event in the Pebble Beach National Pro-Am this weekend. By the way, a guy named Tiger Woods will make his debut in that tournament. But a tip of the hat to John Peterson, his PGA Tour debut at Pebble Beach, a historic golf course to say the least. Three-time All-American and an NCAA. Just everything he did for the LSU golf program, following a rich tradition that has been built out there. So we tip our hat to John Peterson, who, check him out, see if he makes the cut in his PGA Tour debut this week out at Pebble Beach. When we come back, we got a little baseball for you. Back by popular demand. Had some people who didn't get the baseball thing last week. We'll run it back at you when we return on Tigers Roar, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans.
Friday, February 24th, coming to the Texas Club in Baton Rouge, Styx. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster and the Texas Club box office.
Explore the charms of the North Shore and visit St. Tammany Parish. Whether you're looking for a cultural experience or an adventure, you'll find it here. Enjoy great attractions and fantastic dining in a relaxed and friendly atmosphere.
Come visit us and discover the history and heritage that is Louisiana's North Shore.
For more information, log on to louisiananorthshore.com/bb.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com has been extremely beneficial for the TM Automotive Group. And what stands out to us, it's easy to use, not only for us, but it's easy for the applicants. And it's the quality of applicants that we get. It's timely. We post something in the morning. By that afternoon, we have double-digit applicants. And again, it's the quality of the applicants.
Employers, now is a great time to hire, recruit, and look for potential new employees.
BetterBatonRougeJobs.com. It's free for job seekers and great for business.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
40 years, 4 decades, nearly half a century. That's how long the citizens of Greater Baton Rouge have chosen Richards Honda. A simple, sincere, and honest process.
Louisiana's oldest and most experienced Honda dealership for over 40 years, Richards Honda.
We continue with Tigers Roar. LSU is continuing to battle Vanderbilt in Nashville. Under 5 minutes to go in the game. Tigers within 6 points as Vanderbilt just got a bucket. We'll keep you posted on that. But right now, we're going to give you a return visit to LSU's Baseball Media Day with Coach Maneri, Coach Allen Dunn, the new pitching coach, and some of the players talking a little Tiger baseball. They will open up Friday night, February the 17th, against the Air Force Academy. Yes, Paul Maneri used to be the head coach at the Air Force Academy, so he ought to recognize those uniforms a little bit. Here now, some clips from LSU Baseball Media Day last week on the campus at LSU.
Let me just go into our lineup. I know everybody's always curious about the lineup. I feel like we had 6 starters that we could really count on returning from last year's team, assuming that they all made a little bit of improvement. Let's start off with the catching situation. Tyler Ross will be certainly our everyday catcher. Last year he was thrust in there as a freshman, probably wasn't totally ready at times for what he had to deal with playing in the SEC, but because of some circumstances that had happened and the loss of Micah Gibbs after his junior year, he was our best option, and so he jumped in there and did the best he could. But there's no question we needed improvement out of our catching play.
I love throwing this high. He puts a good target up and just he's a big body to throw to. He makes the strike zone look small, and he's a leader out there. He's real vocal, and he just takes charge, and it feels good to be on the mound with Ty as a catcher. You know, I feel like it makes me a better pitcher having a good catcher, and I'm definitely proud to have Ty Ross as my catcher.
You know, when you look at our lineup, you see a team that maybe doesn't have the athleticism that we had back in '09, where you had guys like Jared Mitchell and DJ LeMahieu and Ryan Schimpf that could really run and have power, those kind of things. But I think what you're going to see out of this team is this lineup is a very hard-nosed, gritty, tough-out type of approach. We've got a lot of good line drive hitters. I think they'll have gap-to-gap power more so than they'll hit them in the seats. They're not exceptionally fast runners, but very good base runners, heady base runners. And I think you'll see them take the extra base a lot and that type of thing.
I mean, we're going to have a pretty solid lineup. You know, it's always tough to replace Mikey, but I think as a whole team, we're going to be able to come together and pick up that slack. You know, Mikey obviously had a great year last year. I mean, probably one of the best in college baseball. But we've got some really good position guys, and we've got some really good talent to really pick up the hitting and be a scrappy lineup that's going to score enough runs because we have a great pitching staff. And I think that's the biggest thing, that we do enough. We win, we hit in the clutch, hit in the close games, and I think that's going to be the biggest part.
Tyler Hanover and Austin Nola both could have signed professionally last year. They chose to come back for their senior year, and boy, am I glad they did. I just love those two kids, two of my favorite players of all time, because they're so hardworking. They're such great kids. They're team-oriented. They play in the clutch, both defensively and offensively, and they play every day. You couldn't get them out of the lineup unless there was a bone sticking out of their skin, I think. They're just great kids that I think are really the poster children for our program because of their work ethic and the way they carry themselves.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I never will regret this move ever again. And I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it. I mean, it's going to be fun. Last year, it's going to go by quick as every year's going by. But I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, Hanover on the corner is always good, and Nola up the middle. He's got the best glove I've ever seen. So, and Casey Yoakum coming in, he's really hit the ground running. He's a really good infielder, but can he hit? I mean, he just hits. I mean, he hit like 540 or something in JUCO last year. That's ridiculous. But you can see why. He's got a pretty swing, and he doesn't try to do too much. I think that's what it is. He hits the ball where it's pitched.
He's been out there a lot. Confidence is a big thing. When you're out there playing games and you're out there in game situations, it makes all the difference in the world to be able to go out there and make the plays. Because in a practice and a fungo, man, I mean, it can only be so much. But when you're out there playing games and you're working through game situations, that's how he's become more comfortable.
We brought Casey in as a shortstop thinking that there was a chance we could lose Austin Nola. When Austin came back to school, it was a wonderful thing. So what we did was we tried Casey at second base, and he played fantastic. He, along with Nick Rumbelow, and I'll mention Jackson Slade here in a few minutes, were probably the highlights of our fall practice. Casey probably hit over 400 in the inter-squad games and made all the plays at second base, and he could potentially be the heir apparent at shortstop. Of course, he'll compete for that with the incoming players, but I think Casey's going to be a good, solid, steady type of player for us. Jacoby Jones is a returning starting player. Now, I thought he was a tremendous second baseman last year, but I just feel with the loss of Matuk, replacing our center fielder was right up there with helping us develop a new bullpen. And Jacoby Jones is the best athlete on our team outside of Matuk last year. So during the course of the summer when he was playing up in Cape Cod, I asked his coach if he wouldn't play him some time in center field just to get him some innings. The coach called me back and said that with the scouts that he was talking to in Cape Cod, many of them felt that Jones was the best center fielder in the Cape Cod League. So I think you're going to see that he'll cover a lot of ground out there. He's got those long legs. He's got those long strides, and he can really cover some ground.
I'm excited about Jacoby in outfield. To me, he looks just like Mikey. His athleticism and everything. He's been getting good jumps on balls in practice, and it feels good to have a guy out there like Jacoby on the mound.
At first base, I think we're going to rotate a lot of guys in, and I think we can. We got Tyler Moore, who's a left-handed hitter, first baseman. I think he'll be really good. And, I think our defense is going to be, our pitching and defense is going to be, our strongest asset this year. And, with the speed that we have in the outfield, I'm sure you're going to see a lot of spectacular catches out there this year.
So that really would leave one spot open for competition over the course of these next 3 weeks. You could look at it as a DH, but it could potentially be first base. It could potentially be left field. And we've got a handful of guys that are competing for that. Of course, you've got Alex Edward and Grant Dozar, who have played a significant amount of baseball over the last 2 years for us. Both of those guys are great team players, care more about the team than they do themselves, and they'll fill in whatever role that we identify for them. And then we're excited also about a couple of new players. Tyler Moore is a freshman out of Dunham High School. I think Tyler's going to have a really good career here at LSU. He was a high school infielder that they converted to catcher for a good portion of the end of his high school career. He's shown me that he can play third base if necessary. He'll probably be our third catcher behind Ty Ross and Jordy Snickeris, but he's also competing for the first base job or the DH job.
I think we have a very good lineup. We lost Matuk, he he's tough to replace. But we have a really great lineup. I feel really confident about our hitters. We're going to be scrappy, and I think we're going to be pretty exciting.
A lot of other stuff for you tonight. Had a lot of football in that first hour for you. Well, we're going to run into our final break right now. Vanderbilt is separating a good bit from LSU, up 12 now with about 2 minutes to go. They were about 11-point favorite, as we said. So the Tigers have played well. I haven't seen the whole game yet, but we'll have to see if they could make a run here at the end. Probably not, but we'll wait and see. When we come back, we'll put a wrap on things for you. Carter's got some things he wants to say about that game, the Super Bowl. Giants over the Patriots this past Sunday. So we'll come back, put a wrap on it, a little Super Bowl, a little bit more football stuff for you. With Carter Bryant, I'm Tommy Kreis, and this is Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV.
Hey, where you can expect to be pre-approved online? At brcarcredit.com. Need to reestablish? brcarcredit.com. Bankruptcies, divorce, we can help. Shop us online. Once again, brcarcredit.com.
You're on the same flight.
We'll be on the same plane regardless.
Yeah, when we need to work. Anything together? Do we know that?
Got it.
Thanks, Dave.
The big, brilliant, thin Samsung Infuse 4G. Only from the network of possibilities, AT&T.
Key attributes that really puts Papa John's pizza over the top is our meats. Nobody does what Papa John's does.
For just $11, get our new double-layered premium pepperoni pizza, loaded with a layer of our signature pepperoni, plus a layer of oversized deli-style pepperoni. Just $11 for a large. Plus, get double points all weekend long and earn free pizza fast with Papa Rewards, only at papajohns.com. Sign up now.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Attention, all companies dealing with cash flow problems. Companies are going out of business every day. Bankruptcies are at an all-time high. Accounts receivable delinquencies are at the highest levels in decades. Let us help your business collect money owed to your business. NRH and Associates has the solutions. Let NRH and Associates utilize their innovative collection methods to get cash flow back into your business. Call 601-889-0501. That number again, 601-889-0501.
Hey, where you can expect to be pre-approved online? At brcarcredit.com. Need to reestablish? brcarcredit.com. Bankruptcies, divorce, we can help. Shop us online. Once again, brcarcredit.com.
Final segment of Tigers Roar TV, and Carter Bryant, Tommy Kreis, and with you. Live every Wednesday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Catching this Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you got a replay going. Carter, you wanted to talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. A couple of LSU Tigers, a little LSU flavor, a little Louisiana flavor, obviously in the game. Corey Webster picks up another Super Bowl ring for the Giants, and they come away with the victory. Your thoughts on the game?
Starting off with Corey Webster, him and LSU, the New York Giants secondary, did not give up any explosive plays downfield, which is part of their game plan going in to this game against a group of talented Patriots wide receivers. But the one thing about this talented Patriots wide receivers, they're good with their hands, but they can't get behind safeties. And Wes Welker towards the end, as usual, he's led the league in catches multiple times. He had 22 more catches than anybody in pro football this year. Didn't make the catch when it mattered most. There would have been a first down for New England on that second 11 play that killed the Patriots, and, of course, Eli Manning, the legendary pass to Mario Manningham between cover two, zipped that ball in right where the only place it could be. Manningham makes a miraculous catch. Ahmad Bradshaw, of course, I don't know exactly how you would say how he fell in the end zone, but he fell in there. Patriots defense not able to get it done. New York Giants are Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, I thought the Patriots would win. I was wrong with my prediction on the radio in the Cadillac 3 Pick'em segment, but the Giants got the job done. It's kind of been the trademark of Eli Manning. He's got 2 Super Bowls now, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, all the fourth quarter touchdowns that we saw this year. The Giants were 7-7 and left for dead many weeks ago, but they're now the Super Bowl champs. And, it's all about winning in the NFL. Bottom line, win the game. Eli Manning does that. Is he great? Is he the greatest quarterback ever? No, not even close at this point. But he wins, just like the whole stuff with Tim Tebow. Doesn't look pretty, doesn't look good at all. A lot of people criticize him, but he was winning. And taking it to the next level, Eli Manning has put a big footprint in the sand with his ability to win now 2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
And I'm glad you mentioned Tim Tebow. Because of his success and the buzz around him in the fourth quarter, it took away from what Eli did in the fourth quarter. You go all the way back to that game against the New York Giants on Sunday Night Football, legendary comeback. And then, of course, what he did against the San Francisco 49ers and then in the Super Bowl, unbelievable play all throughout. You won't find a better year of quarterback play in the fourth quarter. Eli, 15 touchdowns throughout the year, the most in NFL history in the fourth quarter. Unbelievable season for Mr. Manning.
A couple of good news for the LSU football team, starting with Josh Dworczyk. Here's the offensive lineman who missed the entire season, although he kind of served as a student coach, some eyes on the sideline for line coach Greg Studrawa. Josh Dworczyk was granted a 6th year to get his 4 years of eligibility. And here's a guy, as you see on the screen, that started 13 games, 26 straight for LSU in 2009 and 2010, including playing 38 games in his career, a 2-time SEC Academic Honor Roll member as well. This is a huge burst. This is a huge positive for the depth and the quality of what will be a veteran offensive line for LSU with all those good running backs this fall. Great news for LSU football. Josh Dworczyk can play.
And it feels good knowing that he was on the sideline the whole year. When you look games from the sideline, Tommy, there's some stuff that you're able to pick up that you're not able to see while you're playing. That's definitely going to help him in his senior season.
And LSU hires our wide receiver coach Adam Henry, a Beaumont, Texas native who played at McNeese, had a cup of coffee in the NFL, including a stint with the New Orleans Saints, coached at McNeese for 10 years, been on the Oakland Raiders staff for 5 years. He will join the LSU staff as the wide receivers coach, and I know on paper this looks like a great hire for LSU.
I mean, NFL background means a lot when it comes to recruits, and also him being a former player is really crucial, Tommy. That really relates with the players on the team. They love speaking with former players, guys that can get them there, and also guys that have been there. Means a lot for the guys on this team.
LSU basketball, the game is over in Nashville. Vanderbilt has won the game. Final score, 76-61. Tigers were tied at half. Vanderbilt has separated in the second half as we thought they might. So Tigers get back home against Alabama. The tough road trip to Vanderbilt. Hopefully they can learn from it. 3-6 now in conference play. Rest of the games are winnable. We'll see what happens.
And that scoreline and stat could be deceiving. Justin Hamilton gets a double-double. But also, LSU was only down by 4 with about 5 minutes away because of the firepower and the experience Vanderbilt has on the team. A lot of seniors, a lot of experienced juniors are able to pull away late.
Don't forget Pelican Sports Radio, Monday through Friday from 3 until 4 p.m. on KKAY 1590 AM on your radio dial in the Baton Rouge area. And it's also on the internet at KKAY1590.com, global radio KKAY.com as well. Smartphones, there's a free app called TuneIn. Carter Bryant begins hosting this Friday. He'll do the Friday Tuesday thing. Pelican Sports Radio, Monday through Friday on 1590 AM. Thanks to Chris, Marty, Alan, Carter, the whole staff here, Nick and Mike. This has been Tigers Roar.